Hey everybody, welcome back to the 6th Round Post-Fight Show with me, Zane Simon, and my co-host. As always, once again, back from the abysses of the deep where you've been, no doubt, lost at sea for months on end.
Yeah,
Eddie Mercado. Yeah, that's right. They got you off that island.
But I got off without scurvy.
Yeah.
Without the scurvy. Oh, did you see Vanderlei get knocked the fuck out?
Yeah, he got clocked by that man in a little tuxedo.
That tuxedo, that button was holding on for dear life.
It's like getting killed by a penguin. Just
and I think he lost the boxing match.
He got DQ'd. He didn't lose the boxing match. He got DQ'd because he was headbutting like crazy. And
which is nothing new for him.
Yeah, and not even like, just like you were in tight and he's kind of using his head, but like, you can see video out there of him just being like, bam, just like clocking this dude.
That's what he did against Guy Metzger in their prior fight.
Yeah.
Same thing. Kaboom. And that led to the finishing sequence. Man,
yeah.
And then he got fucking knocked out by a random.
Yeah.
Who was sanctioning him to fight?
Some Brazilian non-commission. I mean, you know how it works in Brazil. They pay the commissions are private enterprise, and you pay them to referee and officiate your events. So, you just got to find a commission company that you can buy to run your event for you, and they'll run your event for you. There's no sanctioning standard that they have to meet.
Or decency.
Yeah, no.
It's hard to watch.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. This is a man who his part of the class action lawsuit was to detail how he believed that he was suffering from severe brain trauma and signs of CTE after years of fighting in MMA and needed this money to help him live a functional life. Now he's out here doing influencer boxing, getting DQ'd and then getting sparked by the fucking ring announcer or something. I don't know who that guy was.
Right. The usher.
Jimmy Lennon Jr. out there throwing hands at him. God damn.
It's sad. It's really sad.
It is.
And uncomfortable. And man.
Yeah. As Charlie here said, didn't think Wanderlei would get a more humiliating out of competition knockout than Crazy Horse. Yeah.
Charles Bennett. That was nuts.
Felony Horse. All right. Well, let's talk a little about this UFC card that went down. As somebody already noted.
This was UFC? I thought this was a Contender Series.
They're bringing the Contender Series everywhere now. We got the Apex in Perth.
Yeah, but, this was man, abysmal. Ticket sales were terrible here.
Yeah, they had to slash them down to $50 a ticket.
I saw Chase Hooper was just, walking the streets passing out tickets. It's bad. It's really
getting
bad.
The fighters to go out and be regional promoters, like it's a Bellator event where you're hiring the talent and making them hand out tickets.
Buy two, get one free.
Yeah.
And it started out terrible also. So I was like, man, this bum ass card.
Yeah, we got lucky. We were blessed that the end was not dragged out, because I was totally ready for Crute and Urslan to get absolutely sloppy tired after 5 minutes, and then for Ulberg and Reyes to just stare each other in the eyes for 5 rounds, moving around the cage.
Mm-hmm.
And so for both of those fights to end inside a round was a blessing.
Yeah, I like that. It was a relief. But I mean, it ended up better for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was...
And I was watching the Oregon-Penn State game on the side, so that was kind of helping me. That was a fire game.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the main event. Reyes, Ulberg, light heavyweight bout. A top contender bout, apparently. And the comeback train for Dominic Reyes, unfortunate to say, thoroughly derailed.
He looked like shit.
Yeah.
Physically, fight-wise, every single way, he just looked horrible out there.
Turns out blitzing Dustin Jacoby, beating a suicidally depressed Anthony Smith, and then becoming the first of two people to sleep Nikita Krylov sprinting headlong into punches is not actually the greatest way to tell if somebody's truly back in the elite or not.
Crocodile Dom D.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was trash. Utter trash. Like, did he bet against himself? Like, is he washed?
He's just washed. I mean, I think his confidence was obviously, bombed out for that 2020-2022 run. And these 3 wins gained him back that confidence. But he never fixed any of the technical stuff wrong with his game over that time. None of the mistakes that led him to get knocked out by Jan Blachowicz or Yuri Prochazka got fixed at any point. He just got his confidence back.
He didn't look confident out there, though.
Yeah.
At all. At all.
No. So.
Overreacting to everything. Just afraid. I don't want to say afraid, but just overly cautious coming forward.
Yeah. Well, he didn't. Work. I mean, I knew this was all downhill for him because I thought this could be a pretty coin flippy fight. If Ulberg was going to be on the back foot, skirting around like he did against Blachowicz, and if Reyes was confident and they were just going to be out in open space, trading the occasional shot, it's like, okay, this could go any of a number of ways. But the moment it started and Reyes was on the back foot and Carlos Ulberg was coming forward, it's like, okay, this is just bad news. Like, this is just all bad news. Because Ulberg is happy to go backward, but if you're letting him go forward, he is still faster than you. And he doesn't have confidence problems, and he doesn't have durability problems. He will just go out there, pick his shots, wait for his time like he did, and it was not a thrilling fight, but the moment it was over, it was over.
Yeah. Reyes looked so surprised when that first jab landed. He was like, "Oh, I can be punched," and then the whole right just decked him. Ulberg didn't even need to follow up.
No,
that was like letting Reyes know, like, you don't belong here, bud.
Yeah,
he's come and gone. He's gonna be the guy at the bar, like, oh, I almost John Jones.
Yeah, I almost beat John Jones. It's gonna be the whole Gray Maynard Frankie Edgar thing. Like, bless him, I've spent some time talking to Gray Maynard. He's an awesome dude. But for years after that first Frankie Edgar fight, he was just he was stuck on that. Like, hard stuck on I should have been champ.
At least Reyes had a legitimate, he really should have been champ.
Yeah.
In all honesty. Gray just kind of was right there.
Yeah.
To bed. So, I mean,
either way.
I think I'm more sad for Reyes than I am happy for Ulberg. Ulberg's cool. He can be fun, and I'm cool seeing new blood at the top of the division.
Yeah, no, there's at least that. It's not a rehash of anything. And okay, I am horrified by the potential of Ulberg on Kalaev. That does sound like a miserable fight to me. just because Ankalaev is super durable, but he's also super cautious. So
He's super tech for sure.
yeah,
But like, I could also see him just taking him down.
yeah, could be, yeah. But I'm that aside, I'm thrilled by the idea of Ulberg Roundtree or Ulberg Prochaska.
100%. That's why, like, as soon as the fight was over, the commentators
Yeah.
were terrible tonight.
Oh yeah.
Bad night. And like, I usually cut them some slack, but horrible. Like, I forget. I think it was the Musasa fight, but dude's fully mounted and literally has an underhook. And Dom's like, oh, he's not going for underhooks or anything like that. And it's like, he's got an underhook as you're saying it.
Yeah.
But right after the fight ended, they were like, oh, he's getting a title shot. And I'm like, I don't know.
Well, they are gonna. The UFC apparently is talking to him about it, and I think they're gonna fly him out for UFC. He said they're gonna fly him out for UFC 320, so he'll be like, in the audience and all that. But I think it's clear too. Like, it'll also obviously depend on the outcome of Roundtree Prochaska and on the
Poatan.
Yeah, if Poatan beats Ankalaev, then there's a chance that they could do a trilogy, or if there's some other more marketable matchup. But I won't be surprised if Ulberg gets a title shot off of this,
or if something like crazy happens in that co-main with Roundtree and
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is if there's a fight where Roundtree and Prochaska is like fight of the year and Roundtree wins it, then I could see them doing like Roundtree Ankalaev or something like that, where it's just
So right, so if Ankalaev wins,
yeah,
then that opens the door for Yuri and Roundtree.
Yeah.
If Poatan wins, that opens the door for the trilogy, like you said, but also Ulberg jumping the line.
Yeah.
He's not really jumping the line, but being next.
And I would love to see Ulberg Pereira, Like, that sounds like an awesome fight to me, too. The only fight I don't really want up there is Ulberg Ankalaev, because I think they're just going to look at each other.
Yeah, that's definitely the most stale of the possible options, for sure. Which means that'll probably be
but yeah, this was, this is the best way this fight could have gone for me. I would have loved to see Reyes come out aggressive and press and look confident, like he needed to take the fight to Ulberg. But if he wasn't going to do that, and if he was going to be passive, then the best way it can go is for the fight to end in a round. Like, just get it over with,
Mm-hmm.
Don't make me watch 5 rounds of these two just staring at each other and fainting.
Yeah, best case scenario, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know where Reyes goes from here.
Yeah, let's see. I'm looking at the top of the division, because this was kind of an over-ranking fight for him, where he was actually down still at the edge of the bottom of the top 10. So I suppose,
number 7.
Yeah, I suppose there is an obvious fight right there for him, isn't there?
At light heavy, let's see.
Jamal Hill.
Oh my goodness, man.
It's right there. Hill's lost 3 in a row.
No, that's the logical next move, but I'm not even sure Reyes will fight again after this.
Nah, he's gonna fight. If he didn't quit after that whole long thing, and his brother is like his head coach, and his brother is the one who had that like brutal neck injury that kept him out for like 7 years, and he still came back. They're gonna push him to come back. Like,
not if they love him.
It's MMA. They don't love anybody. There's no love here. It's gonna be cracking the whip.
I don't know if his like ego can handle this loss.
Well, we'll find out. Hill is the obvious fight to make, and I suppose too there's a storyline there for a rematch with Volkan Oezdemir, since they had a split decision back in 2019. But Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. Reyes feels like he's in sort of a weird. I mean, I hate to say this because Rob is a much more technical fighter at his peak, but he's kind of in that Robert Whittaker zone.
Who is who?
Reyes, where like
the disrespect is just glaring.
It is right. I know. But like, you know, when you see Reyes beat the guys he's beaten, you're like, oh yeah, there's still something there. There's still a violent, fun action fighter there. Same with Whittaker. But then you watch like Whittaker RDR, and you're like, no, I don't want to watch this. This isn't fun or enjoyable. Doesn't even look competitive
out there.
What?
There's got to be a better comparison than
I chose that one to hurt people. You're
projecting, Zane.
Yeah. It's just like Charlie here is choosing Reyes versus Walker. It's a pain fight if ever there was one.
I'd watch the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right.
Sad times in the Reyes community.
Co-main event. Okay. Look, they're calling it a reverse can opener, but I agonized. Exactly. I agonized over this for like 10 minutes trying to remember. I was like, wait, what the fuck move? It's a fucking camel clutch. Have a little respect for pro wrestling royalty.
The Iron Sheik.
That's right. He's cursing Hulk Hogan in his grave right now.
Oh, yeah. This was ridiculous. This was like...
This is such a stupid fight.
Goof troop. Well, all of Crude's fights are.
They all are.
What a finish here is just... I mean... in the UFC, that's like one step away from the Boston Crab.
A camel clutch. He should have gone for the Steiner recliner, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Spin around, grab the legs. You know, come on. If you're going to tap to some nonsense.
Yeah, I don't even understand how someone can let that happen to him.
Next, we're going to see a figure 4 in the UFC. This TKO crossover bullshit has gone way too far.
Off the rails. Get this man in the WWE.
Seriously. No, this was... Look, I get it. I've said before that, like, any light heavyweight that knows how to grapple at all will win, like, 3 out of every 5 fights by submission just automatically in that division. Because it is even more than a heavyweight, it's like the grappling allergic division where, you know, somebody like Paul Craig or even Anthony Peroche just has like a laundry list of high level wins that make no sense at all. And this is one of those where you just got to be like, okay, Owen St. Preux tapped like 4 guys because they couldn't tell that they shouldn't try to hold on to his head so long. You know?
No, 100%.
Guy got camel clutched.
I enjoy it.
In the octagon.
He better have gotten a bonus for that. Like that is if you don't get a bonus for that.
Let me see if I can find.
They probably don't do bonuses for this card since they didn't sell any tickets.
Let's see. Okay. Crute did get a bonus. Ulberg got a bonus. Crute got a bonus. Nolan got a bonus, and I have a rant prepared for this, but thankfully, Branko Perisic also got a bonus because that shit was beyond depressing. Did you catch that early in the night?
Oh yeah,
Perisic Ellison, where we got the lead into that fight of a fighter of Ellison leading us through his horrible suicidal ideation and problems keeping a job. To too problematic for the cops, apparently, which, if that's not a red flag, I don't know what is. But then we have to watch him, like, after talking about his suicidal contemplation, get knocked out so brutally he needs oxygen in the cage.
It looked like the doctor was laughing at him, too.
Nothing about that made me feel good. Look, I get that he does. I get that fighters, like the fighter pay thing and all that, is sort of like a past thing. They don't care. I can't make them care. Whatever. But if I'm not supposed to feel sympathy, please don't give me these sob stories. You know, like.
Oh, yeah. Brando was like, "Oh, I took out $100,000
A man living in his car got $100,000 loan to get a UFC contract that pays him 10 and 10.
First of all, there's the real story. Like, how the fuck are you getting a loan? Where's your collateral?
Exactly. This is a loan shark situation. That man's knees are going to get broken. He asked for a bonus so he could pay off half of his loan. That is why I am thankful that he got the bonus. Because this man needs his knees saved.
At minimum, his thumbs, right? They might
his
thumbs. But yeah, man, they should have just paid off his loan.
Right?
But this was
either that or he's
a Contender Series fight.
Yeah. So you know that they, like, I saw somebody like, oh, I think heavyweights get 25 and 25. And I was like, these guys signed up with the UFC to get they signed up for a $5,000 fight-in fight. That's what they signed up for. There is no way they are getting more than 13 and 13. No way.
No. Especially not these guys.
So yeah, no. The man is talking about living in his car and sleeping at the gym, and he got, either his coaches are taking every penny he makes for the next 5 years, or we're going to find out about him, like, you know, pulled up out of a shallow lake sometime soon with cement shoes on.
Damn.
Like, nothing. And so those are the two fighters in this. A fighter who was recently suicidal and just got brutally knocked out and can't hold down a job. And a guy so deep in debt that it literally makes no sense that he could even carry that amount of debt.
Right. Like, so I think we can say it wasn't from a bank.
Yeah.
Unless he had some crazy cosigner or like borrowed it from like Izzy or something to that effect.
Never has getting to the UFC sounded so much like extortion than this fight. Like, you know, somebody texted me and they're like, oh yeah, you would have been better off staying on the regionals and getting $500. It's like, yeah, you wouldn't be $100,000 in debt. Like,
what's that APR like?
Right?
Right? Because this isn't like a mortgage.
No.
It's like a quarter of a mortgage, but it's like, it's got to be like at least 16% interest or something, if not more.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that story is. I don't know what's going on with it, but this was pure depression. Like, I don't need this level of depression from my sports, okay? I'm not asking you to pay your fighters better, UFC, but at least know when to hit the mute button. Like, you know, don't stop muting swear words. Start muting depressing backstories.
Nobody wants to hear that shit, Sharif.
Yeah.
Man, maybe he's just super duper smart and he's playing everyone. And he just said that hoping he would get the bonus, but he didn't really take the loan out.
God, I hope so, because it makes him sound so pathetic. So to lie like that in public, I hope that was a con. I would feel better about that. Because otherwise, this man needs a GoFundMe before he's, you know, knifed 36 times.
or taking dives in fights.
Yeah.
That's
Seriously, I mean, when you're carrying that amount of debt, and we can't even say, "Oh, that doesn't happen." We've seen it happen twice in the UFC in the past 10 years that we absolutely know for certain that a guy took a dive. We saw it happen with Derek Minner, and we saw it with Tai Hyun Bong in that fight that the line. I think he refused to take a dive after taking the payoff or something, which was even wilder, and he got cut right away.
And then he probably got cut.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah, man. That's everything about that stinks.
Really and truly.
And another thing is like, what do you need $100,000 for?
I mean, I can only think that it's, he's paying city kickboxing camp fees.
Can't be paying that much though. $100,000?
Yeah, which I mean, if you're using usually camps have a system for promising talents where they're like, okay, we have a fee that you'll pay as part of your purse, and that'll help pay for coaching and all that kind of stuff. And usually it's part of your deal for getting in, and they know that they're going to invest a certain amount in you, and you. Especially in that area, part of the world, it's like he's going to go to a different camp if he starts making real money. There's no he's in fucking New Zealand. What is he going to do? Yeah, he's stuck there. So the idea that they would set up early on to be like, no, you have to pay $100,000 to get through a fight camp to get on Contender Series or to get into it just doesn't make any sense.
The math ain't mathin'.
No.
And furthermore, usually I know of several cases where gym owners will let fighters sleep in the gym.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he was doing. No, he was splitting time between the gym and his car.
Yeah.
So
car. That's a big dude.
Yeah, he's 6'5". That's
what kind of car is he sleeping in? Man, so many questions.
You're right.
So many questions.
Right. It was that is such a fucked up story, honestly.
On both sides of that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, everything about that fight was just God, this is depressing. It raises so many questions and makes me so weirdly depressed about it. All right. So Jimmy Crute beat Ivan Erslan via camel clutch.
We go from that conversation back to the camel clutch. What is life?
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
And I don't know.
Thank God that happened. This really could have devolved into just a total shit show that would have ended in a draw or something wonky like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't really care too much what fight you put him in. Put him in there against Umar C or I don't know. He's already fought Modestas Bukauskas.
Not C. C, no. No, not C, no. That fight will be boring.
Navajo Sterling?
Yes.
All right. I hate matching people from the same card, but that's about the level. Maybe he hasn't fought Dustin Jacoby, I think, so that would also work. Yeah, something like that. All right. That brings us to a featherweight bout, Jack Jenkins, Ramon Taveras, and was fine. I expected more out of Jenkins, frankly. Taveras has one of those Tito Ortiz style heads that looks like
he didn't make weight.
Yeah, probably. It's either that or the bucket of paint he spilled on it. Those last few ounces.
Yeah, fight, I mean, I think Jenkins did what he had to do to get the win. He wobbled him with that head kick there in the first and then worked his grappling, which kind of boring. But he got kicked in the nuts twice. And honestly, the referee should have taken a point. And that was Mark. So I was a little surprised he didn't take a point on that one.
Yeah, I guess I've seen Taveras sparked out a couple times before. So when he gets wobbled like that, I was really kind of surprised that Jenkins didn't really go after him and take it to him. But Jenkins also sounded pretty he sounded like he was under a ton of personal pressure to win.
Yeah.
He was talking about like, oh, I knew I hit him. I wanted to hit him with the head kick and then take my foot off the gas. And he was just like really emotionally overcome, talking about how important it was for him to get the win and all that. So
like being scared about injuries.
Yeah. So this seems like there was probably a lot of other pressures going on for him going into this fight that you wouldn't have necessarily felt just coming off of a loss to Gabriel Santos in a fun competitive fight last time out.
I thought he fought well though.
Yeah.
I think he fought well.
He fought fine, yeah. It was fine. Just sets him up for another mid-featherweight action fight. I don't know that there's anything really special to bring to that, but
is C-Rod at 145?
C-Rod is at 145. They could do Jenkins C-Rod, yeah.
Look it.
Or could do like Jenkins Naimov or Jenkins Melquizael Costa. Those would all be fun.
Oh, Melky.
Yeah.
I'd be worried about Jenkins in that one.
Or Morgan Charrier got a win over Nate Landwehr. There's some,
That's explosive.
Yeah, there's some fun action fights down in the middle of the featherweight division for him. All right, now that brings us to the other big, stupid rant of the card, right?
Yeah.
Welterweight bout. Neil Magny, Jake Matthews.
A big faux pas in this fight. Well, two, really.
Yeah.
The first one being the referee showing his inexperience and stopping the fight with 1 second still left in the fight, thinking that Magny went out because he put his arm out.
Which I gotta say, that is on the referee. It's also on Neil Magny. Like, you're there, you're fighting, and you let your arm flop out like that. Like, the referee should have checked more thoroughly, but you can also see exactly why he thought that Magny had gone out there.
But like you said, you check. That is not on Magny at all.
It's on Magny a little. Because he even talked about it's a little bit because he even talked about like, oh, I heard the clapper and I'm waiting for the bell. And I'm like, oh, the bell should go. So I put and it's just like, just wait for the bell, man. You don't need to you're in a position where you're like in danger of being stopped. You need to be, No,
that's just a refereeing mistake. I can't put that on Magny. But I'll also say I'm really glad there was only 1 second left in the round, because had that happened in like the middle of the round, the referee may had to have stuck to his decision.
I mean, let me put it this way: Jake Matthews needs
no contest.
Yeah, Jake Matthews needs to go to the commission and argue for a no contest. If you're Jake Matthews.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, but he should. And I mean, it's especially not going to happen because it's, the Western Australia Athletic Commission and any of these regional, international athletic commissions, they're all like the Australian government paid millions of dollars to get the UFC out there, to like $20 million to get this card. They don't want to do anything to make the UFC have to work even a little bit harder. If they did, they would have asked for a better card than this. So
maybe they didn't put up as much money. They're like, we'll do this much. And so they got.
But they're not.
I don't think if this were Vegas, the athletic commission would be like, nah, the decisions you lost via this, and there's no real reason to overturn it.
Well, there's reason to overturn it is that the ref stopped the fight earlier and said the fight's over. And, like, that's good reason. That's a good argument, I would say.
It is. No, I mean, I totally get it. And he should try.
Yeah, he should try. But no, I agree that the commission, if the ref at all sticks to his guns and says, because I did see somebody coming in saying, and I'm, thinking about it now, it could be too, that the ref didn't actually say it's over. He just grabbed Magny's hand, and that it was Matthew's corner that screamed, "It's over."
But it doesn't matter. He said stop.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, if you're Matthews, you've got to go to the commission and say, "Look, I got fucked on this. This guy said stop."
If you're Matthews, you need to go to the fucking gym and learn how to defend a darce.
Well, or to learn how to have 3 rounds of cardio, because he absolutely. I mean, this is the fucking thing with Neil Magny. We talked about this on the Vivi going in. It shouldn't work anymore, but it still does. Like, Neil Magny is allergic to low kicks. Neil Magny is not a violent striker in any way, shape, or form. The way Neil Magny wins almost every single fight he's ever won in his career is by making you wrestle and grapple him until you are exhausted, and he is not.
Yeah.
This has been going on for 20 years, Matthews.
Weaponizing cardio.
This has been going on for 20 years, Matthews. You should absolutely go into this and just be like, okay, the thing I need to do is not grapple and wrestle him, but just kick the shit out of him.
Yeah, and he was gassed, because if you look at the finish, like, it's really hard to finish a darce when their arm inside the hold is on the outside of your body.
Yeah.
It's really hard to finish it that way. So he must have been just dead ass tired.
Nah, the way he folded in that 3rd round against the cage, he was done.
Also, love to see it.
Hey, yeah. Team old guy. Gotta love watching the olds get the wins.
Yeah, and man, what's crazy is Jake was out grappling him.
Yeah,
he was doing some brilliant work in the grappling department. Like, the back take, RNC, the mounted triangle, like, fantastic stuff.
So was Mike Malott. Mike Malott pulverized Neil Magny on the ground for 2 rounds. But if you don't finish him, he just makes you tired. It's just like it's an energy vampire. Like, you're there, you feel like you're winning, but the life is just being drained out of your body. It's not worth it, man.
Yeah. He should have finished them.
But now, everybody, and the thing with Magny is that he always has fights. Everybody calls him out. Everybody watches these performances and like, I can beat that guy's ass. And then they get out there and they're like, oh, you know what I better do? I better clinch up with him. Try and wrestle him, because I can take him down. And then 10 minutes later, they're mounted and getting beat on.
He's quicksand.
He is.
The more you tussle with him, the deeper and deeper you're going to get. But again, love to see it.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to remember, who was it that called him out last?
Someone called out Neil Magny?
Yeah, somebody called him out like a month ago. And it's just like, man, Google is such trash anymore.
ChatGPT it.
Anyway. Somebody called him out. Get a fight with who was it? Let's see.
It wasn't Maurice, no.
No, it might have been Uros Medic, maybe. Or I think it was Sam Patterson. I think it was Sam Patterson after he beat Trey Waters.
What the fuck?
think he was the one that called out Neil Magny. So
Okay.
whatever. Sure. Magny's just, he's there for whatever person's going to fight him. It doesn't really matter who. All right. That brings us to a lightweight bout. Tom Nolan, Charlie Campbell.
Fight of the night. Fight of the night.
It was absolutely a sloptacular brawl, yes.
Fight of the night for me. Every second of this fight was fun and explosive. I loved every single second of this fight, start to finish. I loved it so much. After the fight, I went back and watched it again before the next fight. That's how much I enjoyed it. This was just a complete MMA fight. They weren't competing. They were technically fighting hard, and I loved it.
Guys, neither of these guys have the game to compete. They have to fight. They're,
I think Nolan against Slavaklaus was super technical.
Yeah, he
competed with him.
He wrapped up a sub. He's just not very athletic, so he gets, he has to take whatever fight his opponent brings to him.
Sure.
Slavaklaus was there to compete with him. He competed a little more, but Charlie Campbell's just there to brawl, and so he's gonna have to brawl,
Yeah, and I loved it.
Yeah,
it was so exciting.
It was a lot of fun.
He gets back up. He's throwing weird shit. He's Campbell's like, nah, I'm not going to the ground with you because I know better. High five cues. Like, fuck that, quickly get up. And then I don't think he was expecting Nolan to be able to hurt him.
Yeah, no, Nolan, he has that tall man's inside game where he'll just get in there and throw knees and throw punches from weird angles, and it's not a pretty game, but he can whip his body around pretty good. So, and there's no quitting him. Like, that is what I'll say for Nolan, is that he really wants to go out on his shield.
And the man can grapple.
Yep.
The man can grapple. So I loved, and the way he sunk that rear naked choke, it was so quick.
Yeah.
So instant. There was no positional control, and I'm gonna try to, see what he gives me. He's like, nah, I'm fucking taking this dude's neck.
Yeah.
This was great. They both should have got a bonus for this fight, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You know who he needs to fight now, right?
No, who?
Chris Duncan.
I'm there for it. I think Duncan would do wicked things to him, but I'm there for it.
Though.
Yeah. Duncan's
like a better version of Campbell.
Oh yeah, way. But he has impressed me a ton with his situational IQ and his shot selection lately. AT&T has done amazing things with Duncan, honestly. He's, so yeah, I'd be there for it. It'd be a fun, violent fight. All right, that brings us to a light heavyweight bout: Navajo Sterling, Rodolfo Bellato. And I'm going to say it, I know it didn't look that great by the end because he was pretty tired, but I was really impressed with Navajo Sterling in this fight because in his first couple UFC fights, he's fought really bad competition, and he really let them hang around because it's just clear he's not that experienced, and it took him a while to ramp up and figure out what he wanted to do. And in this fight against a decidedly better opponent than he's faced before in Bellato, he just went out there and went after Bellato hammer and tongs. And
but Bellato's not actually a fighter. He's an actor. I'm joking, of course. No, but what impressed me the most was Navajo's grappling.
Yeah.
The way he was looking for his moments to use his head to get under the chin, to either get off the cage or control Bellato. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Those are fundamentals that everybody should really have. And he even got that high crotch takedown. I thought that was pretty cool. All right. He also looked dead ass tired in the third.
Yeah, but like I said, I'd rather see a young guy with his potential come out really aggressive and assert himself against an opponent and really push his game right away and be a little tired by the end of it than having a drag out war with like Tuco Tokos, you know? Like, he went out there, he took the momentum from Bellato to start, and Bellato is like one of the most round by round, consistent in an almost boring way fighters in the division. Just fights the same every single round. And so Bellato's there in round 3. He's still doing his thing, which that's fine. But Sterling made sure it didn't start out with him in the hole, getting pressured, having to fight from behind against somebody who doesn't go away that easily.
And I love his body work.
Yep. Love the body work.
So nasty.
And with his size and his durability and his tools, I really do think experience is the only thing lacking. If he can just keep putting it all together, getting experience little by little, he's going to be a contender. It's light heavyweight.
He needs to start murking people.
Yeah, I mean, well, he could be an Ankalaev kind of contender where you don't want it. It's not necessarily fun, but the skill and the size and the ability to take a fight anywhere is all clearly there. And it's light heavyweight, so it's going to be hard there are a lot of dudes who just aren't going to deal with him in at least one area.
Yeah, I mean, he seems pretty rounded. If he can get his cardio in check. And, I mean, I think he can be, I don't know, like his Contender Series fight, like he was super aggressive. Like really aggressive. And then I think he's worried about getting tired a little bit.
Well, yeah, he just got in over his head really quickly. He's super inexperienced and, got to UFC without a game really at all. So it's all work in progress at a level where it's difficult to be that kind of work in progress. But it's also light heavyweight, so there's a lot of room for you can get a lot of opponents that you can be a work in progress against.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, we talked that, fight with Jimmy Crute wouldn't be a bad idea.
He called out Ibo Aslan.
He called out Ibo Aslan, which, yeah, I mean, shit, like that's knowing your own limitations right there to me. It's like, yeah, that's a guy that's terrible in your division. You can absolutely
dog shit. Like, I guess maybe they were supposed to fight.
Let's see. He was supposed to fight Junior Tafa.
Okay, so he was just referring to him pulling out from the card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows? But no, yeah, Aslan is not good at all. So that would make sense as a next side step. I would even say that would be a step backwards from Bellato, frankly.
I don't think steps back are bad.
No, he's very early in his career still.
I want to see him spark somebody.
Yeah. All right. That brings us to a middleweight bout. Cameron Rouston and Andre Petroski. And man, I knew this was slowly happening, but I think I didn't realize how bad it had gotten. That Petroski has really fallen in love with hands he doesn't have. Because, man, you have a 6'3" guy in front of you who got absolutely wrestled into oblivion by Torrance Finney on the Contender Series, and you once very proudly proclaimed multiple times for months on end that you were the best grappler in MMA, if not at least the middleweight division. He just goes out there and tries to kickbox this dude. It's just this is a terrible idea.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Really?
I don't know, man. This dude is just really good at getting knocked out in weird ways.
He is.
It's like he runs out of batteries and just like shuts down, like those old Duracell commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those where like they just like stop moving because the battery
Yeah.
runs out? That I feel like that happens with him. It's like he has a button, and if you push it, the battery falls out of the back, and he just
Yeah.
like, freezes, and it's crazy. And I can't. Every time I see him, I can't even get over the fact he looks like Stephen Furtick. Do you know who Stephen Furtick is? It's uncanny.
Yeah. No, I
He's like a
see it.
mega church guy.
Oh God. I did not
Like,
know who Stephen Furtick was, but
oh well, that's his doppelganger.
yeah. I don't know. This really should have been like one of the more callable fights on the card, I would have said, but Petrosky, like I don't think that much of Rouston, but
I can't trust Petrosky for shit though. Him, Jake Matthews couldn't trust for shit.
But I mean, like, at least
Recruit you can't trust for shit.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. At least with Petrosky, it usually seems like the guys that beat him are either way faster than him or Jacob Malkoon, who is actually like interestingly decent in weird ways.
Jamie Malarkey you can't trust, Bedoya you can't trust.
Yeah, I think I had put Petrosky firmly in a tier above that kind of fighter. But now I think you're right. So you saw it before I did, but Petrosky,
when he ran into Malkoon's hip, I'm like, oh yeah, nah. Once fighters start losing in wonky ways like that, I didn't
take that as the damnation that you and I think several other people did. For me, it just seemed like Rouston is just a guy that they brought in on short notice to fill out a card, but Petrosky is I mean, this was the thing going into this card. Remember we talked about this. Like, remember how the UFC, where they used to travel to places that they didn't go that often, and when they go there, they'd sign a bunch of regional fighters, and those guys would all get their ass beat by the actual UFC, like the competition the UFC holds on to all the time. This was that kind of card, except now that the product is worse enough that all of the longtime UFC fighters are bad enough that they get their ass beat by the random regional dudes that they signed just to fill out the regional card.
Matthews is the only regional guy that didn't win tonight.
Well, yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, it's not good for Petrosky here.
No, this was a real bad loss. This is a knockout loss to a guy who's gotten the majority of his wins in his career as a submission-heavy middleweight. A lanky submission-heavy.
We had to stomach his promo.
Oh, my God. Look, if that's your 6-year-old and it's the family barbecue and they're getting up and they're cutting that promo in front of everybody, it's adorable. No question. But that is the most 6-year-old talking out of turn promo that I've ever seen a pro fighter cut in my entire life. It
was cringe.
It was so...
It wasn't even like a WWE promo.
No, it was just so childish. It was so like...
And he ends it with the woo!
Yeah. He's just like, okay, man. We'll take you for ice cream now.
I always hate when fighters are begging for people to jump on their hype train.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're great, we'll tell you.
Yeah. No. It's not. Anyway, a weird fight. All right, that brings us to Jamie Malarkey, Rolando Bedoya, and
well, it was nice of Bedoya to show up in the third round.
Yeah, look, spending 2 rounds making Jamie Malarkey look like Justin Gaethje, it's maybe a sign that you shouldn't be competing as a pro athlete. Like,
he was looking like Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira. He had a backpack for that whole first round.
It's just, Jamie Malarkey should not be out there physically pushing you around. And then to have Jamie Malarkey, one of the chiniest lightweights in the whole UFC, on the ropes for a full round and never even be able to like drop him or rock him very like much. It's just, I'm sorry, but
this might be the end of him, end of Bedoya.
well, yeah, I mean it should be. Like, what are we doing with Rolando Bedoya? Like, yeah, I get that he is really durable and that makes him fun, but he's a pocket striker without power or speed. He's not going to win any fights at this level. You stand in front of people and you're slower than all of them and you don't have any power. That's, that's it. That's 4 straight losses.
Yeah.
All by decision. Almost all of them to guys that can't really buy that many wins in the UFC themselves.
I don't even know how he got into the UFC.
He was a regional champ for FFC, for Fusion FC, a regional Peru organization, and they were trying to pull some Latin American talent in.
Looks like he's going back to Peru.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, I guess at least he's not getting sparked out.
Yeah, no, he's tough as shit. Like, he's got that going for him, but like I say, the combination of no power and no speed is kind of a deadly combination.
It's a death sentence.
Especially when all you want to do is strike. Like, you can get away with that if all you want to do is grapple. We've seen some backpacks, with the Damian Maias out there. It's not like Damian Maia was a speed burner who could hurt anyone on the feet. But
he hurt Colby on the feet.
Well, yeah. We'll always treasure that memory. And Ben Askren.
I will always treasure that memory because I asked Colby about that in an interview, and he got offended. I asked him, I was like, "You think you're a better striker than Damian Maia?" And he couldn't believe I asked him that. He was so offended and mad about it. And then he got pieced up. And I'm just like, what do I know?
No. All right. That brings us to a bantamweight bout. Colby Thickness, Josias Musasa, and
saying that. Thickness. Ugh. I don't want to call a man Thickness. No judgment to anyone how you live, whatever. But for me personally, it doesn't feel right.
He's 135 pounds. Call him Thinness.
That should be his nickname. Thinness, Thickness.
But yeah, this is once again. This is just feels like such a it wasn't unfun to watch. It was fine and back. It was fun and back and forth. But it's such a sub UFC level fight where like Thickness couldn't strike at all. He got blasted. Every shot he got hit with, it looked like he tripped on a roller skate. Limbs flying everywhere. Just covering and
the Shogun Hua meme when he fought.
Yeah.
He tripped on the skateboard.
Every shot. And at the same time, Josias Musasa cannot grapple at all. Just can't.
Well, he's got some takedown defense.
See, yeah, that's not grappling. That's takedown defense.
It is grappling. It's anti-grappling.
He is fast
no ground game.
And he's strong. He has no ground game. And he doesn't actually have a wrestling game either. He has a recognition of takedown entries to stop them, but any sort of prolonged takedown attempt that Thickness tried to work on him, it pretty much always worked. Like it just.
He only got taken down twice.
Was it really only twice?
He stuffed like 10 takedowns.
Yeah, we're terrible. Thickness is no kind of athlete. Like. That's what I'm saying, is that the actual takedowns he got hit with, they weren't like advanced, complicated takedowns. It was just more work than stuffing a first shot, than stuffing an entry.
That first one was a body lock takedown, and I think it caught him off guard. And I think the last one, Musasa got kicked hard as shit in the nuts.
There's that too.
And the referee should have taken a point for that.
Yes.
Because that was a fight-altering foul.
Very clearly a fight-altering foul.
Oh, Jimmy Crute got away with so many toe grabs in the fence.
Which I think you should get away with, too. So I don't really have a problem with that.
It's illegal.
If you can't pull somebody's toes out of the cage, then, you can't really have a cage and police toes in it. That doesn't really...
Sure you can.
Nobody does. Doesn't functionally. It doesn't work. You just got to let it go. That has to be like, to me, that's just the cost of having a fence, is toes being put in it.
Well, why have any rules? The cost of having a fight is ball kicks.
It is true. I mean, that's why we don't. That's why we don't have any rules that we didn't. That's why MMA rules are just suggestions.
But there was a moment when Crute was on his back, and the only reason Crute didn't get shucked off is because he was grabbing the fence with his toes.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I find that eminently forgivable, but Thickness should have had a point taken for kicking Mousasi square in the dick. Just an absolute field goal of a dick kick. The Bengals are calling him right now.
Classic goalpost.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant, by the way.
Yeah.
Because he was dead-ass tired.
Oh, yeah.
He was dead-ass tired. And he got that nice long, nearly a 5-minute break. And then I think he recovered. He was way more recovered than Mousasi was. Because Mousasi was tired, too. Like, he was exhausted. And then he got kicked in the nuts on top of that. And he had to pee. So,
oh, my God.
He's telling the referee, I got to pee.
I'm sorry. I realize that you can't really let that happen in an event, but at the same time, for the sake of the folks at home, just let the man run to the bathroom. The last thing I want to see is somebody peeing themselves in the cage. And if that means you got to wave the fight off, then wave the fight off. I don't know.
He probably would have been better not continuing.
Yeah, he might have.
He would have won.
He would have. It's true. If he'd made it a technical decision, he would have won the fight up to that point.
So, I don't know if that's lo-fi Q or if that's Bushido.
It's lo-fi Q to not completely drain your bladder before you step in the cage. I get it. You're pounding water for the whole last day to recover from your weight cut. But then you gotta get your herb mix right there at the last thing where you just pee for 20 minutes or something.
Well, there's also the possibility that his testicles went up and tickled his bladder. You know what I mean? That was the cleanest nut shot I've ever seen.
Yeah. No, it was brutal.
They should have deducted a point for it.
They should have. No question. You're supposed to, the point deduction scale is supposed to be for, based not necessarily on intentionality or aggression, but on how much it alters the fight.
Yeah. So
and that was a fight.
The woman's fight earlier in the night, Ulberg did the up kick.
Yeah.
Steve Percival, shitty referee, but he was point deducted. And I was like, okay.
You know what? I like it, but I will say that was not, while that was a bad foul as an up kick, A, I believe all up kicks should be legal, but B, that was also not a foul that altered the fight at all. That was not actually a fight altering foul. Montague was fine
because it got her back to her feet.
Yeah, but it didn't. She just got taken right back down again.
True.
It didn't actually change the dynamics of the fight. That's one of those cases where really a ref should, at that point, allow them to just continue the action and then take a point after the round.
Or you don't have to stop the action to take a point.
Yeah,
and you don't have to wait to the end of the round.
You could just you just say that's 1 point and just keep things going. So.
And sometimes you can either have the position or deduct the point.
Yeah. Which I don't mind her not getting the position back because, people are like, oh, she got up for free. And it's like, no, she got up for the loss of a point. And the loss of a point is huge. Like,
yeah,
the reality of MMA is that you have essentially 3 points. That is the reality of every fight, is that you get 3 points in a fight. And if you lose one of those, you're losing a third of your opportunity to win. Like, that's a huge penalty. So, because the rarity of 10-8 rounds and the fact that we never use any of the rest of the 10-point must system means you're really only scoring a 10 or a 9. So you either got 0 points or you got 1. That's it.
I'm glad he took the point for that, though.
Yeah, it's fine. It should we need more of that standard set in MMA, that there are penalties for brutal fouls. All right. Otherwise, though, dominant performance from Montague. She needs to never try to strike with anyone in a fight ever. I don't know that I've ever seen a fighter actually take their rear leg and put it behind their front leg as they throw a right hand.
You've never seen Jamal Hill fight?
Okay. Fair. She's been on that Jamal Hill instructional video kick. First thing you want to do is pay your brother to do some home repair work.
Right. And honestly, she was dominant, but she also got her ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is it like and the thing was, coming into this fight, if you watch her first couple fights, you could see her spend a bunch of time on her feet and get her ass kicked and then win. And then in her last couple fights, she was just going out, grabbing people, throwing them to the ground, and bulldozing them. And I'm like, hey, great. If that's what you're going to do, you'll beat Luana Carolina, no problem. And then she comes out and she's like, I'm going to kickbox with you. It's like, don't do this.
No, she got split open in the first round, dropped in the second. It's like, but she was still dominant, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's very much like the Thickness Musasa fight all over again. One fighter that only knows how to strike against one fighter that only knows how to grapple. And these are fights that we don't need to be watching. Like, this is the how the sausage is made fights of MMA,
Should be reserved for behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Gymnasiums. And
the whole point of how the sausage is made is you don't show anybody.
No, this is definitely a regional level fight. Although Carolina's a veteran at this point.
Yeah, she's just around. I mean, that just shows how many regional level fights the UFC is putting on.
Speaking of regional, Brawlers Ball 3, October 18th, I'll be commentating with the legend Frank Mir. Virginia Beach Dome, come check us out. Should be a good time.
All right. Now we're back.
Better than this one, though.
Yes.
And we're back. I have to mention that suplex in the third round.
That was great. No, when she was really on her farm strong shit in this fight, it was fantastic. I will be I mean, and it's women's bantamweight, so she doesn't need to know, she could not know how to strike and still blitz her way through the division. Ronda Rousey did it,
Kayla Harrison's doing it.
Yeah. So
Jenkins also hit a wicked trip.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That little step around inside trip. That was
Peter Yan shit right there.
Yep. That was gorgeous. Loved seeing that. All right, that brings us back to our depression salad of the night. Brando Perisic, Alicia Ellison. And look, Perisic looks like it's a reasonable heavyweight prospect. Once again, this is a how the sausage is made fight. We don't need to be seeing this level of fights. Plenty violent, though. Big, powerful. But yeah, just don't be telling us all these guys' backstories. Let them get the distance from this moment in their lives. Like, let Perisic earn enough money that he owns his own home, and then put him in front of me to tell me about how hard his path was to get here. Don't have him like in the middle of like I just gave my first child to a loan shark, and that's why I'm here today.
he made a deal with Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Nah, because honestly, it raises more questions than it answers about ethics and.
Yeah, but otherwise, City Kickboxing, man, they had a hell of a night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rouston, Perisic, Ulberg.
They needed it.
Yeah.
They needed it, right? Izzy, High Care of France coming up short. They needed something like this.
Yeah. And then finally, Alexa Thainara beat Loma Lookboonmee and Loma Lookboonmee. Yeah.
Really sad. Loma, she's an atom weight.
She's an atom weight. Her name is fun to say. She looks like an orphan child.
What?
I mean, come on, she's like the most baby-faced fighter you've ever seen, you know? Somebody told you that Loma Lookboonmee was like 11, you would believe that.
I mean, I've met her in real life. I guess it's different.
Okay, fair enough. She's just tiny.
She's tiny. She's an atom weight.
Yeah.
She has to fight at 115 if she wants to be in the UFC.
Yeah. But Thainara,
someone just way stronger than her and bigger than her.
And at least Thainara looked strong and fought strong, so that's credit to her. Let's see, is there an actual fight that would set her up for?
Well, she should be in the rankings now, right?
Is Lookboonmee ranked?
Number 14.
Oh, she is? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So
she's in the thick of it now.
Yeah. I mean, she could. Denise Gomes and Tisha Pennington is booked. She could fight the winner of that. Or the winner of Angela Hill, Fatima Klein.
Or the loser, right?
Or
like Angela Hill, regardless of the outcome.
True. Just something right around the border of the top 15. Let's see. Is there anybody else coming off a win in that kind of position? Sam Hughes or Pierre Rodriguez. You know, somebody like that. All right. On that note, we're going to wrap stuff up. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll have a little bit of bonus content for those of you who subscribe to our Substack. So check that out. There's a link below. Subscribe. Help us out. Help keep us going. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at Zane Simon. You can find Eddie on Twitter at Eddie Mercado. You can find me on Blue Sky and Substack at Zane Simon. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.